What is up, guys? It's Boom from Appalachian Tactical, and today bringing you guys a video on kind of a retrograde upgrade, if you want to call it that. So this is my K.I.S.S rifle, the Keep It Simple Stupid rifle. So stick around and let's get into it. Alright guys, so as you can kind of tell, I'm currently without a tripod, so you'll have to bear with the shakiness of the camera, but hey, at least I can actually move around and show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is what I call my K.I.S.S rifle, to keep it simple stupid, and also K.I.S.S is a pretty kick-ass band. So yeah, going forward, this is going to be the K.I.S.S rifle. General specs, I mean, it's essentially just a M4gery clone, if you will. Nothing, of course, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's solid. Specs on it, I'll get to in just a sec, but the reason why I'm going with something of this nature is it's not going to be any, beauty contest winner in terms of best rifle of 2026. I never intended to shoot for that in the first place, no pun intended. What I am shooting for is a simple workhorse of a rifle that is more than capable of being a home defense rifle, a property defense rifle, and a theoretical SHTF rifle, or WROL, whatever dream scenario you guys have thought up in your heads. But it is the bare essentials in this layout of optic, light, and of course sling, which took it off because all this shit this was snagging on. I'll get to that in a minute. Also, I'll go over this sling a little more in depth, more than I did in the last video. I mentioned this, if you guys haven't seen it. But so overall specs, it's a 16-inch carbine length gas system, BCM upper, just run of the mill. It's like the cheapest BCM upper that they, if I can get this out, the cheapest upper that BCM produces currently, which in comparison to PSA, it is still, you're still paying a tad bit more. What is on my rifle? Oh, just where the paint is right in there. You guys kind of see it. It's kind of like, that was like messing with me. I was like, what the hell? But probably just glare. I need to touch it up even a little more. But yeah, it's, I mean, it's technically the cheapest upper the BCM makes. Of course, 8 years ago these were like $400, but of course, markets change, so on and so forth, same shit. It is a SOCOM upper, which is really interesting. I never really thought about SOCOM before. I just figured, oh, government profile is the one everybody runs, or pencil profile. So SOCOM, the quick rundown on it is, when we were still in Afghanistan, this is probably back like 07, 08, I've heard, I think MTS, Modern Tactical Solutions, made a video talking about the barrel profiles on M4s, between the M4 and the A1s. Actually a pretty recent video. I do recommend going to check him out. He said they were experimenting with it back in like 99, I think, prior to like when we fully went into like, the invasion of Baghdad and stuff like that. But the rundown is SOCOM guys were, running M4s, dogging the absolute shit out of them, and just blowing through mags left and right, just burning ammo, just burning it out. And those barrels, pretty solid barrels for the most part. They would get, of course, stupidly hot, and then they'd let them cool down, everything, go back to base, whatever. Then next thing you know, next mission comes around, they go back out. The barrels would blow out like right in the thinner section of the government profile barrel, which of course this is the thicker end of government profile. Underneath the handguard, in theory, the government profile would be the, you know, hybrid, if you will, I call it. I get mixed up. Government's like a hybrid of like a pencil profile type barrel. Underneath the handguard, then it sizes up in diameter past, like starting at the front sight block or gas block, and then moving forward, it's a thicker dimension of barrel. There's a whole write-up on that, the reason why they went from the pencil profile to the government profile. It's a whole shit show. I think it was just part of a way to for government to spend more money in a way, kind of sort of, but the government profile is, they're not bad barrels whatsoever. But SOCOM, where it comes into play is, anyways, those guys were blowing out barrels, and what the research had, you know, concluded was that since the government profiles were much thinner between the receiver and the gas block, and were, you know, right in this sweet spot, less mass equals, from what I've been told and have read, less heat dissipation. So that heat doesn't have as much surface area to move to dissipate off the barrel on a thinner profile barrel. That's why you see, you know, pencil profiles melt, or not melt, but heat up so quick compared to like H bars and certain government profile barrels, or hell, even tapered barrels. Anyways, they did the research. Colt went back to the drawing board, developed SOCOM barrels, which are, for the most part, continuously the same thickness from up here all the way back underneath the handguard. Then it sizes back up to the receiver extension underneath the delta ring that goes into the receiver. Now, some people will say it adds a little bit of weight to the rifle, which that may be true. It kind of does a little bit, but honestly, I'm used to handling full-size 308s, you know, like battle rifles. It doesn't really bother me. Now, if I had the old Saber upper, like you guys have seen in the last few videos, that thing was a damn boat anchor for it to be a short rifle overall. I mean, not much shorter than this because it was a 13.7 pin weld. That thing was a damn boat anchor. The handguard that PSA uses on those Sabers, I think, honestly, I feel like they could improve, either putting a Midwest quad rail on it and just run a standard barrel nut, you know, because PSA, they had like their whole proprietary barrel nut. It was a pain in the ass, but sorry guys. That's why I went back to the basics. Something I know, something that's simple to work on, and parts are readily available to either stock up on and or replace. But initial impressions of the BCM upper, specifically, everything in terms of quality control and tolerance is way tighter and is night and day different from Palmetto. Any Palmetto product I've ever owned, besides my 20-inch Freedom upper and the XM177 that I posted a video on a while back. The 177, I guess since it's their kind of flagship, they have like a separate department, you know, assembling those rifles and pistols, and they're solid. I mean, there's no canted front sight post like you see on every other PSA post on Reddit. BCM, they they get it down to a science. I mean, I was like, this has been going on for like 3 days. I've been like looking, this gap right here on this side and the opposite side, like the ledge between both sides of the handguard, I've been like full on OCD stressing out because I thought I was going to get another PSA lemon out of BCM, which of course BCM shouldn't be compared to PSA in my eyes. I looked it over. I finally was like, okay, it's good. That just tells you how bad of experiences I've had with PSA products in the past, and I just don't feel like doing a warranty thing because they're like, oh, you have a picture of the grouping and da-da-da-da-da. I could probably fix it myself. I know I could. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time, guys. But where was I? Oh yeah, tight tolerances. The delta ring, to pull the delta ring back to install the handguard, because this was just a bare upper. I about needed, one other person, but it was me, and I was just doing kind of a one-man operation with it. I said, fuck it, call it good. So this upper did come with the bolt carrier. It was like a free deal, where of course you get the A2 flash hider and the bolt. It is a BCM bolt, which I would pop this out, which I probably can. BCM, boom, right there. You guys see it? Good. And mags pop back in. This and that, of course, these are like pennies on the dollar of how many have been produced. Like $600. Not bad. I mean, it's a step up from PSA. And if you just want a solid, honest workhorse of a rifle, or even an upper, if you already have a pre-existing lower like I do, they're great. I have no problems out of them whatsoever. It's been a great rifle so far. Of course, lower stayed the same, still the same PSA Saber lower, which was Cerakoted FDE that I rattle canned over. As you guys can tell, it's peeling off. Two-stage PSA trigger in here, which I think is just a Schmid Dirty Bird. If you look at them, compare these to the Dirty Birds, they're basically the fucking same. Radian Talon safety, I've just got a different set of anti-walk pins in here because redundancy. I mean, not that it needs it, but personally, I just like having these. That's just me. I like the way it rolls and the way it runs. It doesn't affect it. It doesn't affect the trigger. It doesn't affect the hammer. It's solid. It's fine. Radian Raptor up here. Midwest Combat rear sight. Primary arms 3X Prism. The, of course, Midwest Quad Rail, BCM foregrip, and the Surefire Scout. I think it's the focusing. I can't tell because of the glare on the screen, but it is the Scout. It's the M640 DFT, to be specific about it. So it is the dual fuel turbo light, which honestly has been probably one of the best lights, hands down, I've ever ran on any rifle of mine. I mean, of course, I've run Streamlights. I was a firm believer in Streamlights for a while, and I was like, this is an American company, don't get me wrong, but they make their stuff in China. I was like, I mean, everybody makes their stuff in China. I mean, these have good quality control. Not knocking Streamlight in any way. I just wanted a Surefire. So, got Surefire on here. Let me rotate the rifle around. So, on here, I currently have the Gen 1, as I call this, the first generation of the primary arms, not primary arms, 100 Concepts light cap on here. Now, this, of course, is very loud and clicky. I like it, though, because it's firm, very tactile. Basically telling you, hey, dumbass, the light cap's on or it's off. Only thing I do have a gripe with is sometimes it'll end up going this way if I get snagged on gear, or if I'm pulling it out of a case or out of the back of my vehicle. It'll do that, but of course you can fix that in like a second. Just got some rail covers down here so I don't shred my hand if they're as dry as they are now. Nothing fancy. I do have the ruggedized light cap that 100 makes on the way. It should be here tomorrow, and also comes with the shock collar, which essentially just takes all of this out. You have a collar up here that tightens down to the bezel of the light, and it does away with the Ranger band. And so if you need to swap batteries out, all you gotta do is just twist the bezel off, unscrew it. Don't have to do any weird balancing act of like pulling this off, or pulling the tail cap off, pulling this off, unscrewing the bezel, because I've done it. It's not fun, especially with the old school, or not old school, the old Polytac I had. SOP mod, B5 stock. and Magpul K2 XL grip. Now, I've seen a lot of comments on different posts people have made about the K2s, specifically the XLs. They're not bad grips whatsoever. Me personally, I mean, it's a comfortable grip. I mean, it's, you know, the texturing on it is amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's thick. If you have, you know, bigger hands like I do, because, you know, across from, you know, of course, it looks like I have a fat thumb, but it's not as fat as you think. Across from my thumb to my pinky, I think it's about, let's see, this is probably what, 7 inches. So, for reference, pretty decent size reference. I wear like an XL in mechanics gloves, if that helps you guys. It's not a bad grip. It's just the angle sometimes, and the little beaver tail back here is kind of weird. I feel like when I try and get up high, you kind of get a high grip on it. It's just kind of, it doesn't really fully help with that. You know, I kind of like to have a little bit more of an angle to it than this. So, what I've got coming is a, oh, that sounds weird. What I've ordered, actually ordered it last night into this morning. It's basically a Driven Arms Co. Shadow grip, and it's made by, now Driven Arms, they don't directly make these grips. MK Machining manufactures the grips for Driven Arms, but they're basically a partnered company. They're not competitors, they are partnered with each other. So, you know, you order from one company, you know, if something happens, you know, you can get it from the other company. But I like it because it's the Shadow style, or more like a CZ style grip profile. And I actually need to make a video on this pistol because I've had it for 3 years and I've yet to make a video. I've got a CZ75B, which is my everyday carry, and I love it. the grip profile, everything on the pistol is amazing. And if that grip is anything like my 75, I will kick myself in the head for not looking into that before, because I was like, man, this grip is so good. It's like Frank's Red Hot. I want to put that shit on everything, you know, rifles, pistols, shotguns, you name it. But got that coming. It's got the little grip plug, so I can, you know, just store a bunch of random shit inside the grip if need be. If I need to put like the oil bottle, like what's in here, of course I got it. Well, can't really get it right now, but if I need to get like those little rip and drip CLP packets or whatever, and just throw up in the grip, I can. I mean, or hell, even a wipe, like a CLP wipe. Just take a packet, shove it up in there, call it good, and roll with it from there. So, yeah, pretty run-of-the-mill rifle. Nothing fancy, of course. You know, I like it. You know, pretty basic. And I feel like this is one of the most slept-on setups for an AR, even, you know, in 2026, for anybody, be it a beginner, you know, somebody that's getting into, you know, firearms and wanting to purchase their first AR. The world of M-Lock can be very intimidating to some people that have not experienced it. You know, when I came into this whole, you know, came into the whole AR platform, I was like, whoa, and this was years ago. This is still when I was a kid, whenever M-Lock first came out. That's telling. Well, MOE, not even M-Lock, MOE when that first came out. Key mod, holy shit. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Nothing fancy whatsoever. Like I said, regardless if you are, you know, somebody like myself who is a self-proclaimed Appalachian warlord that wants to run around in the hills of Appalachistan, you know, shooting shit, blowing shit up, or just walking the woods, or if you're just a beginner, you know, wanting to get in, be able to defend yourself, a simple carbine set up in this manner is not a bad start. I mean, even if you buy a Holosun Red Dot or a Sig Romeo 5 and you don't even run like a foregrip, you can run like just the basic, I say basic, the run-of-the-mill MOE or Magpul M-Lock carbine handguards, which for a while I did run, but got out of that for a little more modularity, having built-in QD mounts. Sorry about the wind, guys. I'm up here on a fucking ridge, and it is windy, and it's probably one of the coldest days of April. It's sunny as all hell, but yeah, it's bear with the wind, guys. I do apologize, but anyways, yeah, that's the rifle. Really quick, the specs of the barrel. I should have put this in the beginning of the video before I went on the whole rambling, tangent. It is a, BCM promotes this on their website. It is a mil-spec barrel, 4150 chrome moly vanadium, 1 in 7 twist, phosphate coated, and chrome lined. Now, chrome lining does help with the longevity of the barrel and the lifespan of the rounds through it, the round count. I mean, if you talk to any GWOT guy, anybody that was in Afghanistan or Iraq that was issued an M4, and ask them how many rounds did you go through, how many rounds did you put through your M4 before the barrel just started shooting off into the fucking sand or hitting a goat or whatever. They'll tell you, however many rounds, and you use that kind of as context of, we're not in a combat environment. We're not constantly dumping rounds. If you have unlimited money, you may go to the range every other day, or if you're training, you'll burn through quite a few rounds. But yeah, that's the rifle. And also give another big shout out to my good buddy Mike over at White Tree Armory. Mike, he's a, what was that? Looked like I was jerking the sling off. He's a one-man crew, kind of like Dane at Munition Works. He custom builds these slings. They are kind of a indirect clone of a T-Rex Arms sling, but you can order these padded like this, or unpadded, where it's just the sling like this. So it's a very low profile, very light sling. Offers multiple colors, and these are, if you are very anal about night vision and glowing under night vision, this sling, at least I know there's a couple of them that he makes that aren't quite NIR compliant, but these are berry and NIR compliant. So give you a little food for thought. This is probably one of the most comfortable slings I've run. He's got the little piping here on the side that kind of cuts down on any chafing. If you were to be running this sling with like just a t-shirt on, of course you're gonna chafe regardless, but this definitely does help cut down on it and distributes the weight fairly evenly. And you also have a little pocket here for excuse me, a 18650 battery light, or not battery light, battery for your light, if you are running one like myself with the Surefire. So but I just like to keep it open. Got the quick pull on it, so you can either slack it out or draw it in. And yeah, got my QD points here and down there. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future, and stay frosty.